Hey there folks, welcome to the RedLine Optics channel where we bring you the coolest optics on the planet. I'm Sam Sudor, your host and the CEO of RedLine Optics. Today we've got something pretty special to share with you. We're going to go through the feature set of the F4U Corsair. This is a 5x30x56 MRED first focal plane rifle scope with an illuminated reticle. And we have a lot to talk about, so I'm going to pick up the pace here a little bit and go through each one of these features so you can kind of see them. I'm going to remove this rubber bimini cover. And what we're going to look at, the first thing we're going to look at is the ocular setting. And what this does is as you twist it back and forth like this, and you're looking through it, depending upon your eyesight, it's going to have you look at the reticle or the crosshair, and it's going to make it nice and sharp. So as you twist this, it is going to bring that into focus, the reticle, and make it crisp and clear. Next thing we're going to look at is going to be the magnification, and this is going to go from 5 all the way up to 30, nice and smooth as you twist it. And this, just the same as any other first focal plane rifle scope, is going to take the crosshair and lower the magnification, and it's going to make the crosshair small. And as you increase the magnification, it increases the size of that crosshair or the reticle. And that, again, is by design. Then we're going to look at your fine adjustment, which is called your parallax. And this thing is going to go from 15 yards all the way out to infinity, nice and smooth as you twist it. What this does is as you're looking through it, it's going to take your sight picture and your object, and as you twist this, it's going to fine-tune your focus to make that crystal clear. Next thing is going to be your illumination settings, and as we twist it, it goes from 1 all the way to 6 and turns off in between each one of the settings. So it just makes the crosshair, when you're looking at it, or the reticle, illuminated, and as you twist it, it's going to increase the brightness of that reticle. The next thing we're going to look at is going to be your elevation, and you can hear each one of those individual micro clicks. This is an incredibly precise system. It's very tactile, as you can hear. It feels good, it sounds good, you know where you're at, and you can feel every single one of those little detents. Super important. That is an incredibly important feature for any scope. You can also see that as we twist this up, that there are graduation marks. So as you're twisting and rotating your turret, you don't have to count each one of those things. You can see where you're at in your throw and engage targets at multiple distances, and that's what that's designed for. Pretty cool little feature. The other thing that's really nice is this, as you twist this back down and you're reaching your zero, that is a rock solid zero. It cannot move, and that is by design. I'm going to show you how to set your zero stop here in just a second. Same thing with the windage, very tactile feel, feels great, sounds great, also has graduation marks, so you can kind of see where you're at as you're twisting and adjusting your windage. Really, really nice. Let's take a look at how we're going to adjust your zero stop. Take your turret multi-tool, and you just take this thing off like that. This pops off, and when it does, it exposes this ring, and it has 3 different screws. You just take your Allen wrench, you're going to loosen those up, and this thing twists, and you can see that there is a detent right there. That detent, you just twist this over until it hits it, tighten that back up, pop your cap back on, making sure that you line up your zero right with that little dot. And again, a rock solid zero, not going to move off of that adjustment. So super easy to do. The other things that I think are important to talk about are what set this scope apart, what makes this thing different. And the first thing and the easiest to talk about is that this scope is designed with 16 lenses. So this thing has 16 ED lenses. Every single one of the lenses in this are fully multi-coated. So we don't just do the air, lenses. We don't do that. Everything in this thing is fully multi-coated, and the reason for that is because it is going to allow for the maximum amount of light transmission from here to here. The other thing when you fully multi-coat is that depending upon the number of times that you dip that lens, each time that you do, it's going to increase the amount of band of light that is allowed to come through the scope. And we multi-coat and have a process that is proprietary, and we make sure that every single micropore in our glass is fully saturated, and it is dipped multiple times over and over again on every lens to ensure that you have the brightest optic that you can possibly get. So our scopes are very, very bright. That's really important. But the other thing that's equally as important, and I think a lot of times gets skipped over, is that with a 16 lens system that's set up like this, we have multiple sets of what are called apochromatic lens pairings. And that's 3 different lenses when paired together that allow different colors of light to come through. The most expensive way to build an optic is to use an apochromatic lens pairing system. We have multiple pairs of apochromatic lenses in our scopes. And again, the reason for that is to ensure that we have reds, greens, and blues Very vibrant, very high fidelity color that comes through the scope. Not only is it clear and crisp, it is incredibly high fidelity color, which gives you that kind of true to life as you're looking through the system. This is reserved typically for only super high-end optics, but that's what we are. We have designed and built the best to be the best, and that's what you get for your money, and that's what you get when you buy RedLine optics. It's super important to have these understandings of what makes this thing different, because there is no scope in our price category that is going to give you everything that we do in this price point. You're just not going to find it. Again, reserved for only the highest end scopes. This thing is a brilliantly designed product, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, feel free to subscribe to our channel, reach out on our website or through social media, and we'll be happy to answer anything that you got. That's what we have. If you guys, again, questions, reach out. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.